Buenas tardes, good afternoon, and welcome. I'm Julia with Las Comadres, and we're here this afternoon speaking with Marta Arroyo about her book, Jorge and the Lost Cookie Jar. Bienvenidas.
Gracias.
Marta, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yes, this is an inspiration from a student that I had in my classroom and back in kindergarten years and years and years ago. And the little boy that I knew, and I used to tutor him after I worked with him in kindergarten level. And he would always offer me cookies whenever we met for his tutoring session. And my little boy, his name was Josue. But I decided not to use the name in his honor. I wanted to use his dad's name. His dad's name was Jorge. And so I wanted to keep his memory with me. And that's the reason I used Jorge and the Lost Cookie Jar. But the cookies, the inspiration was because of that child in the past.
Awesome. And what did you want to stay with the story?
The story is about a boy who, he's a little boy, he's about 5 years old, and he proceeds to explore his house. He goes throughout his house looking for the lost cookie jar that was packed in some box somewhere because the family is recently moved from another home to a larger home so that they could accommodate the grandparents.
Okay.
So that's a beautiful thing.
Wonderful.
And so he goes to different members of the family. Everybody's unpacking, but it's okay because they have time to answer him. They answer whatever he wants to know. He persists on looking around for the beautiful treasure that's in the home so he can get a hold of a cookie for his cookie snack. Because they've been working all day unpacking, and now it's time for his cookie break. He needs it, and his family members accommodate him and answer him in a good way. They don't just dismiss him. He's a little boy, but they pay attention to him. As small as he is, as many as the people are in the family, he stays with them.
That's a wonderful thing. That's really a wonderful thing.
It's a harmonious thing for a family to have that kind of harmony and attention to their children. I think it's a very important thing.
And I find it lacking sometimes today because everyone's so connected to their electronics. Don't get me started.
Very, yeah.
So I'm sure you've read this book to many children.
Yes.
And what kind of reaction have you received when reading it?
I have received reaction like, what if he didn't have the cookie jar? What if he didn't even find it? He could still have a cookie, couldn't he? For example, he could have a cookie out of a box. He could have a cookie out of the package, or his mom could put the cookies on a plate for him. So they're all very cute and asking, why did he need the cookie jar anyway, Mrs. Arroyo? And so that kind of reaction. But a really fun, playful thing that we've done that I didn't want to lose to not include is I will take one of the children's names that we're talking together about, and I'll take their name and we'll replace Jorge with their name and chant the title over again. For example, Maria? Julia and the Lost Cookie Jar. Marta and the Lost Cookie Jar. Jose and the Lost Cookie Jar. And they always repeat it back in a chant, and they love doing that. But I've had really positive experiences reading to the kids and discussing it, especially kindergartners. They really embrace it because it's a beautiful little story and it's got great illustrations by Penny Weber.
That's wonderful. And what we know that it's challenging trying to fit a children's story into what is most typically 32 pages of a children's book.
Yes.
And what have you found challenging in
with this
together?
book, I was finding the challenge of locating a publisher that would publish my book. I have done 2 previous books, La Fiesta y el Mariachi in 2007, and I did the story of Señora Tamales. That was in 2010, and those were inspired by my parents for me. And so when I did this one, I've always looked for publishers to publish me, and Dayton Publishing is the first publisher that grabbed my book, and we went with it, and she liked the project, so she found the illustrator.
That's wonderful.
May I show a couple of pages?
Absolutely. Go ahead. So,
like this is one of the pages where he's asking his older sister, where could the cookie jar be? And she's unpacking, right? And so she tells him where to go look. So he goes down the stairs. Each time that somebody gives him an answer, he goes back up the stairs and asks different people. Like here he's asking his mom, where could the cookie jar be, Mom? And she tells him, I don't have it, mijo, go ask so-and-so. But I think the illustrations are adorable, and it is a book that reflects my family because we're a very multi-generational and multicultural family.
Wonderful.
My daughter is married to Puerto Rico. He's Mexican and Anglo in Puerto Rico, and my other daughter is married to an Irishman and Americano. So it's multicultural in many ways, and it even has names of my own grandchildren.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For sharing your story
Julia.
with us, and good luck at the awards this evening.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to be able to have this attention with you. It's a very special thing because you get a little capsule about us and what we're up to. So it's a really nice thing to be able to be here with you.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate
Muchas
your
gracias.
time too. Mil gracias a usted.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I held this up.